All right. Now, do you recall having written her a letter on the 4th of June, 2008?
Yes, I do recall that.
Your Honor, may I make of record that I am showing the witness a photocopy of a letter dated 4 June 2008, and I invite the counsel for prosecution to see the document.
Noted.
Do you confirm that this is a photocopy of your letter?
Yes, I do confirm that it was a photocopy.
We have not been shown the original, Your Honor.
Do you confirm that you wrote the original of this letter?
Yes, I do confirm.
Can you produce the original of this letter if we should require you?
Normally, the original of those letters would be to addressee.
Can you produce any copies you might have in your office of the same?
Probably still a photocopy. Yes, I can produce.
Your Honor, and just to save us the trouble of a continuing objection, I would like to manifest that the witness confided in me that while she is aware of all these documents, she does not have the files with her. But in order not to disrupt the flow of the discussion before the court today, I have agreed to present her.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, do you confirm, therefore, that at some point you wrote this letter to Mrs. Corona and you said in that letter, acceptance of said unit should be on or before June 7, 2008?
Yes, I am confirming that.
Yes. Then, do you also confirm that this is in reference to Unit 31B, Tower 1 of the columns?
Yes, that is for 31B Tower.
Is it your testimony, therefore, that as of 4 June 2008, the unit has not yet been accepted by Mrs. Corona?
Yes, as of June 7, 2008.
Your Honor, may I
June 4,
request that
2008.
the letter be marked as Defense Exhibit 213, and that
Mark it accordingly.
and that the date be submarked as 213A.
By the way, just to clarify, in 2006, the building was completed.
In 2006, Your Honor. Yes, the
Then,
building was
when did you notify Mrs. Corona to inspect the unit?
For all the units that have been fully paid, there would be a notice in 2006, Your Honor, but I have to check on the specific record for Mrs. Corona.
You do not remember that you notified Mrs. Corona in 2006?
Yes, Your Honor, I do not recall at this
But
point.
when you sent this letter, dated June 2008, was Mrs. Corona already notified or invited to inspect the condo unit?
Based on the content of the letter, it seems that there has been a notification previous to that letter.
No notification.
There seems to be already one.
What makes you think that there seemed to be?
Because it's already, is it? Okay. It says on the letter, if I may,
Yes.
should the unit still not be accepted by then, we shall already deem and consider the unit as having been delivered and accepted as of June 2008. So it seems already a notice, a final notice. But I have to really check on the records, Your Honor.
All right. Proceed.
Your Honor, before questions will be made,
Yes.
we would like to manifest our continuing objection, Your Honor. Not only on the
Why?
photocopy that is being testified to by the witness, Your Honor, but also on the basis of irrelevance of these questions, Your Honor, to prove the actual delivery. As we have already made clear, Your Honor, for the prosecution, what matters was that the cash paid was made in 2003 and 2004, and they were never reflected in the SALN for 2003 and 2004 and beyond, Your Honor. So, acceptance or actual acceptance is irrelevant insofar as
Your Honor.
the prosecution is concerned, Your Honor.
But anyway,
Your Honor.
the court takes note of all of these facts and take them into account in the assessment of the evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The understanding of the presiding officers that they are dealing with the actual reflection of the condominium unit, the concrete representation of the cash payment to Ayala, to the developer for that unit. So let it be. The witness may answer.
After sending her, if I may proceed, Your
By the
Honor.
way, Ms. Cruz,
Yes, Your Honor.
is this document produced from a document in your possession?
Sir, if it's a reference to the original, there was an original.
That is a photocopy of the original?
Yes, normally we photocopy the original and the original is sent to the addressee, the owner.
And this photocopy was in your possession?
No, sir. Not this specific one. This was not the one I brought.
From what other document was this photocopy produced?
That was a copy produced by the defense, Your Honor.
From
I'm not sure. Where did we get this? Oh, from Mrs. Corona, Your Honor. I'm informed.
that's from. This is a photocopy of the original in the hands of Mrs. Corona.
Of a document that Mrs. Corona holds. I'm not sure if it is still the original, Your Honor.
All right.
But suffice it to state that the witness has identified the letter as hers.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Madam Witness, after you wrote her on the 4th of June, 2008, do you recall if Mrs. Corona replied to you?
I'm not very specific on I do not recall the specific response. Yeah.
Do you recall if there was any response?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right. Your Honor, at this juncture, I would
What
like...
do you mean, yes, I do? You recall
I
that
do
there
recall
was,
a certain...
do you recall that there was a response?
Yes, I do recall that there was a response.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this juncture, I would like to present for the examination of the witness Defense Exhibit number 46, previously marked. This is a letter dated June 7. Do you recognize this letter, Ms. Cruz?
Yes, I do recognize that letter.
Would you be so kind to inform the court, just for purposes of the record, whom this letter is from?
It was from Mrs. Tina Corona.
And do you recognize this as the response to your letter of June 4, 2008?
Yes, yes.
Now, you said earlier that in your June 4 letter, you informed her that the unit must be accepted by the 7th of June. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Now, in this letter of 7 June 2008, did Mrs. Corona accept the unit?
On June 7, 2008, no, there was no acceptance yet of the unit.
Would you like to read the text for the Honorable Court, just so that they will be informed what the letter says?
Okay. Dear Carmina, this is Mrs. Corona. I have been following up with your office, with Charlene Pangilinan and Eds Fajardo about the originals of our tax declaration and RPT receipt for 2008, open close parenthesis, prorated, so I can settle my payables and accept my unit. Columns Tower 1, Unit 31B. Please give me an update ASAP. Thank you, Mrs. Tina Corona.
As this has already been marked, Your Honor, we shall no longer be marking the same. Do you recall, Ms. Cruz, after that letter, whether or not Mrs. Corona replied to you? I mean, you replied to her. I'm sorry. After Mrs. Corona's letter of June 7, did you reply to her?
Yes, I do recall an exchange of letters too.
I'm showing the witness exhibit number 45 of the defense. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do recognize this document.
Who wrote this document, if you know?
Yes, it was me. It was from Carmina A. Cruz. That's me.
Do you recall what this document was about, Madam Witness? Why did you write her back?
It refers to the request of Mrs. Corona on the tax declaration and real property tax receipts and the acceptance of the unit for 31B, Tower 1, the columns Ayala Avenue.
What did you tell her? Read the text if you don't mind, in order to put it on record and so that everyone paying attention might be enlightened as to what we are discussing.
All right. It just states that regarding your request for your tax declaration, RPT receipts, we are happy to advise that these are already available. Enclosed is a copy of the tax declaration for your unit under your name, of which the original may only be released upon settlement of the real property tax from June 7, 2008 until December 2008, amounting to 8,167.50 cents. And however, we seek your understanding that this should not hinder you from accepting your unit. As stated in your previous letter to you, the computation of your real property tax will be based upon the date of your acceptance of your unit, which should be on or before June 7, 2008. Should you fail to personally accept or send a representative to accept the unit, we will nevertheless deem the unit accepted and delivered on June 7, 2008.
In other words, am I correct in stating that there was a balance due from Mrs. Corona at that point in time?
Yes.
What
indeed.
was the balance for, if you remember?
For the real property tax.
Who paid for the real property tax up to that? This letter was dated 11 June 2008, right?
Yes.
Who paid for the real property tax up to that point in time?
The basic procedure is really before the turnover, it's the developer who pays for the real property tax.
So until 2008, the real property tax had been paid by?
The developer.
Who is the developer?
This is Alveolan.
That is your corporation.
Yes.
And so up to this point in time, you had paid the real estate property tax and you were asking her to pay you back. Is that correct?
Yes.
Had she accepted the unit at this point of time? At this point in time?
There was already notification on the deemed acceptance on or before June 7, 2008.
There was a notification on?
Deemed acceptance.
Deemed acceptance. What do you mean by a deemed acceptance, Ms. Cruz?
On the deemed acceptance, when there is no, on the previous notices, if there's any, and no proper response is provided, then there's an automatic deemed acceptance of the unit.
Who determines the occurrence of a deemed acceptance?
Based on company policy, it is determined via the seller.
Does the deemed acceptance involve any participation on the part of the buyer?
If it seems stated on the contract to sell, then normally it is exercised by the developer.
So it is an act of whom?
The developer, the seller.
So when you say there is a deemed acceptance, who makes the pronouncement of a deemed acceptance?
It's the seller.
It is the seller. Does it follow that if there is a deemed acceptance, that the buyer has accepted the unit?
Upon declaration of the deemed acceptance, yes. It is an understanding of the developer that the unit has been accepted by.
Can you please show me if there has been any indication of the acceptance of your deemed acceptance?
Are you impeaching?
No, Your Honor. There is another document that will establish the truth of the matter.
Precisely, the tendency of your questions. You're
Yes, Your Honor. Go ahead, ma'am.
trying to confront your witness with an impeaching evidence.
Sorry, Your Honor. The letter is from her also.
Then present the letter.
All right, I'm showing you a letter dated 3 September 2008. Do you recognize this letter?
Yes, I do recognize this.
Can you tell us what this letter is?
On September 3, 2008, it refers to the deemed acceptance of the unit of your unit 31B Tower 3, the columns Ayala Avenue, and its tax declaration. As you had been advised by our technical representative, Denise Aniceto, the rectifications to your unit have already been completed. The keys of the unit may be claimed from Mr. Aniceto.
So that was dated 2008?
Yes.
And where were the keys?
The keys at that time was with the office.